Should Figma be worried about what Apple just did? Well, I think they should, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. And especially with today's outage, here is some FigJam for you, and you know what? This one works offline. To better understand what happened, we need to go back a little and realize that Apple is very fond of killing off entire industries or entire companies. And sometimes it's direct, sometimes it's a little bit accidental, but in most cases a company with nearly an infinite amount of money and a lot of resources and great designers and also making their own hardware has it a little bit easier to overtake an industry. And before we get to Figma, let's talk about one more thing that Apple announced quite recently, which is Shareplay. Shareplay was basically video conferencing by Apple that also works on non-Apple devices. So if you have an iPhone, a Mac or an iPad, you can start a conference and then you can invite people using web links. So whether they're on Android or a Windows PC, they can join in, they can have the video quality that Apple is actually really well known for, and they can have that seamless experience. And now Shareplay is expanding into collaboration. And what Apple has shown in their Notes app is basically a whiteboarding exercise, kind of like FigJam, that works seamlessly on all Apple devices. So you can continue on your iPhone when you finish working on the iPad, and somebody else can join in on a Mac, and so on. Once they make it web-based as well, so Windows people and Android people can join, it's gonna be basically a nail in the coffin, the final nail in the coffin of FigJam, because, okay, it doesn't have the features yet, it doesn't have flow creations, but a lot of these things aren't really that often used. And what's more important, Apple's collaboration is going to be free, it's going to be built into the OS. If you own any Apple devices, you'll be able to collaborate on something and start that collaboration right there without launching any external apps, downloading anything, logging in, and you won't have to pay for it. And for the people on the Mac, because it's a native app, not a web app or an Electron app like Figma, it's gonna be way faster, more reliable, more robust. It's gonna be easier to add more complex features to it. So basically it's going to be whiteboarding built into the OS. All the non-tech savvy stakeholders and founders and the CEOs of the companies that had to previously create a Figma account and join your FigJam and, be in the whiteboarding session, now we'll be able to do it without joining anything, and you can bet that they're gonna prefer it this way. So they're gonna be pushing their organizations to actually go this way as well, especially since Apple is a lot better with privacy than Figma ever was. And actually, I don't know if you know that, but if you're a designer working at Apple, you can't use Figma because of the security risks. So yeah, security, faster, built in. If they open up the API, there's gonna be a ton of other companies creating even more robust apps and also with lower prices and using Apple servers for the collaboration, so with like a lot less cost. Yeah, I think this might be a bad thing for Figma, because they were pushing FigJam to be basically right alongside their design tool, like the two are side by side in starting the new file or the new project. So right now their whole proposition, their whole offer is going back to square one, back to the design app. And yeah, they still need to convince a lot of people to start paying because, as I said before, Figma has never made a profit yet. They're working with investors' money and they're burning through that money, not making a profit. At some point, those investors are going to come back and they're going to be pretty mad about it. They're gonna be pushing, and that's not gonna be great for the community. What do you think? Should Figma be worried? Let me know in the comments. And as always, have a beautiful day.